So this week we were supposed to create a fire using the voltage from a lemon working or acting as a type of battery. So this week was a bit difficult for me, just simply supplies wise. I was unable to find copper clips or brads wherever I went, so I ended up using copper nails and then zinc plated nails. They were zinc plated through electrochemical galvanization. The stores I went to, like Lowe's, Target, and Academy, didn't have rubberized wire, so I had to kind of like fashion my own out of like a phone charging wire. It's been a time. All of that to say, I struggled finding kind of just like the right materials. And unfortunately, my lemon did not produce voltage and no fire actually started. I was super disappointed because I was actually really excited, but life moves on, and here we are. The total list of materials used is as follows. I had 1 lemon, 6 copper nails, 6 zinc nails, wire out of a phone charging cord, steel wool, and then toilet paper kind of used as like tinder on top of the steel wool. Despite the failure of my own experiment, I do understand why the lemon is used as a type of battery in a way and like why that works. So batteries are just containers for chemical energy, which can then be converted into electrical energy, which is what we know or what we call electricity. So when 2 electrodes, both different metals, are placed in a liquid electrolyte and connected by something that's conductive, electricity is then generated. 2 metals are used because the difference in how those metals react with the electrolyte is what generates the electricity. So lemon juice is a really good electrolyte because of the acidity of it, which makes it a really good fruit for the experiment. The electrodes that were used are the zinc nails and the copper nails, zinc and copper being the 2 different metal types. Sorry, lost my place. And they're connected in series, so like diagonally, which leaves the ends free for the 2 wires that are then going to be connected. So the zinc nail is the negative electrode, while the copper is the positive one. Then touching those 2 wires together, the positive and the negative, in the steel wool allows for the circuit to be completed, which results in sparks, which lights the fire, or should at least. So electricity in general is generated through oxidation reduction reactions, which occur in this instance when the zinc dissolves into the acid. And the acids in the lemon contain the ions, which are then able to conduct that electricity. So in short, the lemon is the electrolyte and the nail is the electrodes. As to why my experiment failed, I have several theories. One of them was that my electrodes could have possibly been touching on the inside of the lemon and thus short-circuited the battery because of it, instead of flowing where they're supposed to along the circuit that I created, they're flowing directly between the electrodes that are in the lemons because it's the path of least resistance, and that's where electricity is going to go. I did try to move my electrodes and tried it again. Didn't work, so I moved on from that theory. Another theory is that I possibly needed a different wire to kind of allow for like a clear circuit path for the electricity to flow, again thinking about that path of least resistance. I can't try a different wire given my whole issue with trying to find the wire, so it might be that, it might not, I don't really know. Another thing is my copper that I used may not have been pure copper, so it might have kind of affected the effectiveness of the experiment, or the phone charging wire may not have been what was needed and kind of upset the experiment. I am going to try to light the fire again on camera so that you can see the experiment. Maybe it'll work. We'll see. But here it goes. Let me move you down. Can I see the lemon? Okay, so where's the lemon? Okay, so I have my copper nails right here, and then here are my zinc nails, and here's my kind of fun wire that I fashioned myself. Here's my steel wool, and then my toilet paper as tinder. So I'm going to try to connect the 2 in the steel wool and see if I can get any sparks or any voltage. Okay, I'm still not, so don't think it's going to work. Alright, let me separate those. Alright, so unfortunately, yet again, my wires and my lemon did not create voltage and there was no fire. In all honesty, I'm not exactly sure what happened with my lemon and why it failed. I'm sure there are a lot of compounding factors as to why it might not have worked in the way that I wanted, but it did fail. Despite the failure, I do feel I've gained a better understanding of the way that batteries work kind of in general with the electrolytes and electrodes and the way that the electricity is generated and then flows. So, all in all, a good time. I wish my experiment had worked, and I hope you all have a good week. Thank you.